Good evening, everyone. My name is Henry Gamble with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video I wanted to spend some time talking about the Dow Jones Transports. This is a very important index for the overall markets. It's something that I've spent a little bit of time in some of our previous free videos covering, and I just felt like it was time to revisit this idea. Now, when we start off and we're looking at the daily chart, the first thing and the thing that have been pointed out so much is essentially just how it's been breaking down here from the tree line around 90.66, and that's fair. Obviously it shifted to trade below the 21 EMA and then just continued to break down from there. What I always like to do is, for example, if you saw this and you saw this retracement and whatever the case may be, but you're wanting to set up the short side of this trade, I like to keep myself in check by saying, okay, if I want to short it, let's take a look at a broader time frame and see if there's an area I can find or point to as support. When we come down to the weekly chart, it's very easy to see the major swing low to swing high here. And I think this is a very interesting and very important chart to follow for a couple of reasons. The first of which is you're right on top of this 50-618 retracement zone. As long as the transports can hold this, then it's just telling us that this bullish advance has not seen the end of its push, and especially since we have the weekly squeeze, I'm looking for a bigger than expected move here. Obviously we'd remove the extensions because we're not focused on those, but once we got this chart, we know, okay, this is an area of support, but it doesn't look like it's just screaming higher. What are a couple of the things we can do to tell ourselves that it's time to start getting into these? Well, one of the most common is to look for a close above the high on the weekly bar, because of course in this case I'm looking to take the signal off of a weekly chart, so I'd like to see this for my confirmation. Essentially I would look to last week's bar, as it did make a fresh low that comes in at 88.07. If that index can close above that on this Friday, I think that's going to bode very well for these markets and give them a much better chance to move higher. And the other thing that you're seeing here, so that's what I'm watching for the index itself, and of course maybe once we get through the Fed minutes on Wednesday we'll have a clearer picture of that. But inside this, you've also got some interesting divergences, because what I've been seeing is that some of the bigger components of this, like FedEx and UPS, have been doing very good, while the rails are what have really been holding the transports back. So a little bit of a divergence there. Some of the strength in some of these others is kind of compensating for the weakness in rails. If rails start to bounce from these lows, look for that resistance to be cleared in the transports, and then maybe we can take some more aggressive trades off of it. So I hope that helps, and we will see you guys at the next free video.